I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The tackle there by Brian Poole. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. And that's complete to Croft. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Brissett to throw on first. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Saquon Barkley looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Now it's Barkley. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. A gain of 3, second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now this now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Heading out as a Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. And his throw is incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers, and this one caught by Cameron Brain. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one good for 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Allen Hurns, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Crosby with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Brissett. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Devon Kennard just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now this throw caught left side. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, their last miss on 3rd down, they actually were able to alleviate it because they picked it up with a 4th down conversion. I don't know that they'd be wise to try and do that again here. To me, you got to punt the ball away.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
So we have to remember this offensive unit, they've been off for the last 2 weeks. Had an open week, and so it might take them a little while to get back into rhythm. I know they worked hard to try and get past that in practice, but practice isn't game speed.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down now, it's Hunt, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Rodgers now on 1st down. And Blake, the tight end's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
So now on fourth down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Redskin first down. The pickup 15 yards. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On the run, it's Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them pass it, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett, and the grab by Croft. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Redskins on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Brissett, and that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And he missed it. Target, it's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0.
It's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, 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 and that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. This is Hunt on the draw play. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. The Browns on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Rodgers now to throw. And able to find Kirk complete. His first catch good for 8 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. From the 45 on 2nd down. Rodgers. And Brate has it over the middle. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Hunt. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. On play action, now Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me out here.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and call it an even 50 yards. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick. But now if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete. There defensively was John Johnson to knock it free. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Brissett. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They're able to locate Wilson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A Redskin first down. The pickup 15 yards. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A Redskin first down, the pickup 15 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get to the line here down. Brissett now. And Wilson has it. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, it's Brissett. Green brings it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the red zone now, Brissett. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing, Brissett. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now Matt Bryant on for the field goal.
Bryant down for the field goal. A 32-yard attempt.
The kick by Bryant is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
Huh? You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Aaron Aaron Rodgers. We focus on him for our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Pick me up. Here we go.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
So here are the Browns to take over. They got the victory last week. That was against the Baltimore Ravens, and they have the lead here as well. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Hunt. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They need a stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the third.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10.
So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. Barkley on first down, running into a wall as he's stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Looking to throw on second down. Brissett. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 32-yard line.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Brissett, and he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll try the right side here, Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Brissett. He completes it to Wilson. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 17-yard line. Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Quick throw, complete out wide here to Green. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Brissett. Wilson's got it complete. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now Matt Bryant on for the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Bryant's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to
to the 21-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case, well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Rodgers to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he completes it to Hunt. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
Rodgers now 9 of 17 through the air. And again, it's Rodgers. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. And Brate, the tight end's got it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Rodgers to throw once more. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. Continuing to steadily move the ball down the field. Not big play after big play, but these moderate gains getting him first downs.
And you know what they add up to, right? If you continue that pace and you continue to move it downfield, they add up into 6 points. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Rodgers again now. Open man is Kirk, complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On play action, it's Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Got him. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
We got 3. We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
On 3rd down, Brissett. And a completion to Wilson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
First down, Redskins.
A first down throw for Brissett. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They'll throw again. Brissett. And the grab by Croft. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. Again, it's Brissett. And that is incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Washington. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really fading.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. This is Hunt. Able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
On the run, this is Hunt. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. On second down, it's Hunt. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. That one is caught by Hunt. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Hey, hold on. Check 56. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
First down, Brissett. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Brissett sets to throw it. And he comes back with one complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. To throw is Brissett. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And now the throw hauled in by Green, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Throwing again on second down. Brissett throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35. On 1st and 10, Brissett. And this is incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, but it'll be second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Into the air once more. It's Brissett. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
We play to win. Let's go.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Rodgers now to throw. His throw incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Working from the gun. Rodgers airing it out for Hearns. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Critical because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Brett Kern now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. On the return is Cohen. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And that will come the offense as they take over. So out now come the Redskins. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Set to throw on first. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Brissett throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Oh, he almost had the rare reception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Brissett to throw for it on 4th. And Wilson has it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Green once again the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down now, Barkley. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Aaron Donald in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Aaron Donald. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our player spotlight. And what would you say? Is it the offensive line that has caused a lot of this pressure to get back there?
That's always the first place that you have to look to see what's going on. But part of it is so difficult to simulate this type of pass rush in practice because the speed, the ferocity, the quickness, some of the change-ups and how they get at the quarterback that you may not have seen on film, all of that is different. You can practice it as much as you want to. You can even insert smaller, faster guys at positions to show that the speed's going to be quicker. But until the whistle blows and you play for real, it's just not the same.
And not as easy to implement on game day. From the 41, Rodgers. Wesco, the tight end, making the catch. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Brett Kern now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Here's Brissett. He's going to let it fly. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down. Now Brissett. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because We were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Browns, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Washington, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.